Do you know that feeling when you meet somebody for the very first time and suddenly your brain just completely freezes up? You don't know what to say, how much to smile, whether to shake hands or wave awkwardly. I think we've all been there. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how to make a really good first impression in English. Now, this could be professionally at work, or socially at a party, or it could be when you meet somebody online for the first time. In this video, we're talking about how to genuinely make a really good first impression in English, and not by being perfect, but by sounding warm, confident and natural. We're going to look at what really makes a good first impression, some useful phrases and conversation openers, tone, body language, and some cultural tips. And then right at the end, I'll share some common mistakes that should be avoided. So stay with me until then. But first of all, I guess I should introduce myself properly first, just in case we haven't met before. I'm Jo, and I live just outside London in England, and I work with adults who speak English as a second plus language. I want to help you feel natural, confident and authentic when you're speaking English in real life situations. My students are usually professionals who already speak fairly good English, but want to sound a bit more like themselves. Calm, articulate, relaxed, and not like they're reading from a textbook. If that sounds like you, then make sure you subscribe, because that's what we do here every week on my channel. And if you're interested in booking a one-to-one private conversation class with me, then I'll put the link to my website in the description below and you can get in touch. So, what makes a good first impression? A first impression happens incredibly quickly, sometimes before you've even spoken. And it's not about perfect grammar or having a huge vocabulary. Often it's about how you make somebody feel. People tend to notice three things. First of all, your energy. Are you open, relaxed, approachable? And then they also notice your tone. Do you sound calm and friendly? And then the other thing they notice is your interest in them. Are you curious about the other person? Now, when we're looking at this, if you focus on connection rather than perfection, you'll automatically come across as more confident and more likable. And remember, a lot of native English speakers are often quite shy and not particularly confident when meeting somebody for the first time, but they've had lots of practice. So let's get started by looking what to actually say. So in step one, we're going to look at greeting and introducing yourself. Keeping it simple and natural is best here. You could start with something like, "Hi, I'm Jo, nice to meet you." "Hi there, I don't think we've met before, have we? Lovely to meet you, I've heard lots about you." Or you could say, "It's great to finally meet you in person, if previously you've only ever met online before." Now, a quick note here. Pleased to meet you is fine, but it does sound a little bit formal. Nice to meet you or lovely to meet you is warmer and a bit more friendly. Now, at this point, don't overcomplicate your introduction with more information about your background. At this point, keep it short and then you can add more information later on. So you've introduced yourself. Now you need to keep the conversation going, which can be a bit tricky, and this is where some people struggle. The best way to keep the conversation going is to lead with a question. If you're at a social event, you could say something like, "How do you know everybody here?" Or something like, "Have you been to one of these events before? Have you had to travel far to get here?" Or if it's at a work or professional event, you could say something like, "So what's your role on the team? Have you been at the company for long? What kind of projects do you usually work on?" When in doubt, ask a question which shows curiosity about the other person. People love being listened to and having the chance to talk about themselves. But obviously, if they're not very forthcoming with answers, Don't fire a series of questions at them, because that might seem a little bit like an interrogation. And if you forget somebody's name 2 seconds after they tell you, then it's perfectly acceptable to ask again. I'm so sorry, could you remind me of your name again? I didn't quite catch your name. So how do you show genuine interest in a person? Little reactions can help you to sound natural and engaged. You could try something like this. Oh, that sounds interesting. How did you get into that? Or, oh wow, I've never heard of that before. That must be quite a challenge. I can imagine. I know exactly what you mean. You're not just answering here. What you're doing is you're inviting the other person to keep talking by showing your interest and your engagement. And if your mind goes completely blank, you can always fall back on something like, what are you up to this weekend? This one usually works in any setting. And it's not too intrusive. Asking somebody what their plans are for the weekend is socially quite acceptable. So how do we sound warm and confident with these initial meetings and introductions? Let's be honest here. Your tone and your pace and your body language matter just as much as the words that you're saying. You could have prepared the perfect introductory sentence, but if you say it too quickly or too flatly, it won't sound friendly. Let's try it. Hi, I'm Joe. Nice to meet you. Now again. Hi, I'm Joe. Nice to meet you. Can you tell the difference? In the second version there was a smile on my face. The tone was light. There was a small rise on meet you. And there was a genuine sense, I think, of enthusiasm. The words were exactly the same, but the feeling was completely different. So looking at some tips for sounding confident when you're speaking English. First of all, I would say smile. People can hear a smile, and a smile will often put the other person at ease. They might feel nervous too. Keep your sentences short. Short sentences sound more relaxed and natural and not like you've prepared them. Another good thing to do is to pause very slightly before replying. Pausing shows a level of confidence, and it shows that you're not rushing. Another really important thing is never apologise for your English. Regardless of your level, you're speaking a language which isn't your native language. Apologies are completely unnecessary and also will undermine your confidence and other people's confidence in you. Another one is breathe. It sounds obvious. Obviously, we have to breathe, but calm breathing gives you a presence. Remember, confidence in English isn't about speaking perfectly or fast. It's more about being comfortable with yourself. So what about body language? Well, for starters, make sure you're sitting or standing with an open posture and avoid crossing your arms, which automatically seems slightly hostile. If possible, keep your hands visible, not hidden in pockets or behind your back. Make gentle eye contact, but avoid staring at somebody because that could make them feel uncomfortable. Another thing you can do is to nod slightly when they're speaking. This shows engagement and acknowledgement of what they're saying. And a quick British cultural note. Sometimes in the UK, we will look away slightly midway through a conversation. This is a subtle way of being polite, and we're not being distant when we do this. We're not being rude. So if somebody looks away from you slightly while you're speaking, don't be offended. Don't panic. That person's just being a bit British. So another good idea in these kinds of conversations is to add a small personal touch. This can make the conversation a little bit more memorable. All you need to do is to add a small personal detail. Nothing deep or heavy, just something light and genuine. Something like, I could do with a coffee. I work online, so I drink coffee constantly all day long. Or something like, I'm learning Chinese Mandarin at the moment, so I know exactly how nerve-wracking it is to be speaking another language. or one that I used just the other day. I'm shattered today. Yesterday I had to go up to have a look at a university with my daughter, and we decided to travel there and back in one day. It was great, but it was absolutely exhausting. These kinds of additional bits of information make you seem like a real person. Then you could turn the conversation back to the other person. You could say something like, are you hybrid working, or are you based in the office? These kinds of questions help the conversation flow naturally. And like I said, it reminds the person that you're a real human being and you're not just your job title or your English level. But yeah, keep it light. First meetings aren't really the time to be discussing your childhood issues or your deepest fears. Save that one for your therapist. So you're going to have to practice these introductions. And by practice, I don't mean write sentences and learn the sentences like a script. Think of it more as rehearsing being yourself. And you can do this using the voice note app on your phone. Here's a small exercise you could try. For the next 7 days, try recording a very brief introduction or one-way conversation on your phone in different scenarios. So on day 1, you could practice introducing yourself to a friend of a friend. Hi, I'm Jo. Nice to meet you. I've heard all about you. Yeah, I live just outside London. I've got 2 kids, but one of them's at university at the moment. What about you? Where are you based? Something like that. And then the next day, try again this spontaneous speaking, recording. And by recording and then listening back to your recordings, you'll be able to take note of where you struggle, and you might come up with new ideas of things that you could inject into these conversations. Now, I made a video all about using ChatGPT to practice your English. I'll put the link up here and I'll put it in the description below. But ChatGPT or any of the AIs are excellent English conversation partners. You can ask them to give you feedback as well. If you're interested in that, watch the video, or you can also book a conversation class with me where we can look at using ChatGPT to help you with your English. Finally, we're going to move on to some of those common mistakes people make in these kind of introductory conversations. I would say that the first mistake is speaking too fast. When you're nervous, you might speed up. Pauses and taking your time shows a level of confidence. Another thing to avoid, I think, is using very idiomatic language, unless you feel very confident with that language. Being clear and simple is always better to begin with. Another mistake is when somebody asks you a question, giving one-word answers. If somebody says to you, how's your day going? If you say fine, that immediately cuts the conversation. It stops the conversation in its tracks. Instead, you could say something like, pretty good, thanks. I've just finished work and I'm planning a quiet evening. What about you? These kind of short details as well make you sound open and friendly. Another error is to not ask questions back. It shows a lack of interest and a lack of curiosity in the other person, and it can come across as quite rude. Again, I mentioned this before, but apologising for your English. If you didn't understand what somebody says, please, there's absolutely no need to apologise. Simply ask them to explain that you didn't understand and ask them to repeat what they said. Could you say that again, please? Or, I didn't quite catch that. There's no need to apologise. So, to summarise, to make a good first impression in English, you need to remember these 3 things. Be warm and forget about perfection. Be curious and show a genuine interest in other people. And 3, be yourself. That's the version of you that people will remember. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you have, I'd really appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up, or even better if you subscribe to my channel so that you can catch more of my videos. If you're particularly interested in British English, then you might be interested in this playlist. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.